guys. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. I am Abalori, and we are going to be doing something different today. As soon as I can get my camera in focus. Weird. Hey, you guys. Again, this is Abalori. And I'm coming to you today with something different. Welcome in, everybody. Again, I am Abalori, founder of 1720 Finance, where we use Matthew 17:20 that tells us all we need is faith the size of a mustard seed to pull us through our difficulties, and we can get through any financial obstacle that is in our way. And so again, today I want to welcome you to just a little chit chat with me about living debt free, paying off debt, staying on top of things. And I just felt like I needed to come talk to you guys. I don't think I've ever gone live on this channel. And so I said, well, today I'm home, I'm off work, it's raining outside. Let me go ahead and just go live with everybody and yeah, let the people see what's happening over here in my neck of the woods, in this space. And we are going to be talking about debts, living debt free or as close to debt free as we want to be. And yeah, I'm just I just decided to go live today, so no rhyme or no reason, just something I decided to do. And so again, thank you for joining me. If you are new here, welcome. If you've seen some videos of mine before, welcome back. And again, my goal is to become as debt free, as close to debt free as I can be. And for me, becoming debt free simply means all of my consumer debts and loans will be paid for. The only thing I will have left would be student loans, and then of course my mortgage. So again, working on becoming as close to debt free as I could possibly be. And so here you have before you, I'm just going to this is my first time going live on this channel. I have another channel, but this is my May's calendar. Not too much on here, just a couple of debts that I needed to pay, some things that need to be paid. And I got that done and out the way. And then for quarter two, everybody knows we should all be having monthly goals as well as weekly goals. And some of us, we should also have daily goals. My goal for the second quarter, which is, January, February, March. So April, May, and June is quarter two. We're currently in quarter two, and we are almost out of quarter two because obviously June is right around the corner. But I will say for me, my quarter two goals right now is to pay off at least 2 debts, which I'm currently on track to do. Post at least 4 budget videos. I think I'm at video number 2 or 3 for the month. I have another one to do. And then to put 1K into my savings, which I have actually reached that goal and I am happy about. And so for the month of May, some of my goals for April have carried over to May. I have been eating out less. And let me bring this up here. I have been eating out less. I think this Friday I'm going to restart my auto investments into my real estate retirement account. That's what I'm going to be doing. And then I have some tolls and tickets that I need to pay for. And this actually is a low spend month. So I'm only going to spend when necessary. And then I still have some car repairs that I have to do. So you guys know last month, the beginning of April, where are we at? May, beginning of April, I had to put my car in the shop. It was in the shop. It was at the dealer for about 2 weeks. And in total, I spent over $3,000 in getting my car fixed. Just parts that went bad. Yeah. And so most of you don't know, or if you kind of follow me a little bit, I am a nurse by life. And so one of my jobs is I'm an IV therapy nurse. So I go to patients' homes and then in the clinic setting. And without a car, I was not able to do that for 2 weeks. And thus it left me down over two paychecks, which, I'm recovering from that, but nonetheless, it wasn't something that I was foreseeing. And so a lot of things that I had planned to do in the month of April just kind of fell behind, and so I pushed them over into this month. And so again, I still do have to put my car in the shop. There's a few more things that I need to get done, but my goal is to keep my car for the next 2 years. I have a 21-year-old who is currently in college. He has just finished his second year. And so my goal is to keep my car until he gets out, because I do have a college plan for him. But however, college has significantly gone up. If they've cut back aid and things like that. So I'm kind of sparsing out what's left in that college plan, and then he's getting ready to transfer to a different school, so it's going to be a little bit more money for him to go to college. So what I initially had to cover his tuition, I am now having to pay just a little bit more. And so yeah, that's another story for another day. But however, my goal is to keep my car. I do not have a car payment at the moment. My car it's a 2016. I paid it off in 2020. So I did a 4-year payment plan, 4-year car note. And with that, I paid it off right before the pandemic hit in 2020. I think I paid it off in like that March, and we were shut down in like March or April. So luckily, I have been without a car note for 6 years. Well, we're now over 6 years, but I'm planning on holding on to that car at least another year and a half to 2 years until my son finish, and then I could possibly probably get me one that I could go ahead and pay cash for. So my goals for the month, of course, is to always do my daily Bible study and journaling. I do Pilates, and weight training every other day. I used to be a runner, so I don't run as much just because I don't have the time to put in. Now that I work multiple jobs and I own 2 businesses, I just don't have the time to dedicate to run like I used to. But nonetheless, I still move. Financial goals, again, is to pay off 2 debts and to put $200 into my emergency fund. Right now, my emergency fund is not really emergency fund. It is actually my savings account. And so far, I have 1,100 in there. So I don't know if I'm actually going to do an emergency savings fund, but I think I still will as a backup. And I'm actually probably going to put this in my high yield savings just to buffer that. But I do have savings reserved. And for me, I am always, always, always reading my Bible again daily. And the scripture for the month was stewardship and giving. And the Bible basically says followers are encouraged to be generous as it is more blessed to give than receive. And that is 2 scriptures combined, Acts 20:35 and 2 Corinthians 9:7. And so I printed these pages off. I made them in Canva if you guys are just wanting to know. But this is what's working for me right now. And this is what I'm going to be using to continue my debt payoff. So as we go through my debts, I don't typically list my mortgage because I think that's personal. But however, I will say combined with my mortgage payment and my homeowner's insurance, not homeowner's insurance, my HOA fees, I am already currently at like $2,400 in my mortgage payment. And that's just the payment and the HOA fee combined. So technically for me, I do not pay my mortgage until the end of the month just because I have more leeway with that. So I can just wait and pay that till the end of the month. I like to pay on my bills and pay catch up for my creditors and loans that I owe and things like that the beginning of the month to get that out the way. And then what I have left over is what I will put towards my mortgage. And it just works out for me right about now. With mortgage, you have a little bit of a leeway to pay versus someone who pays rent. Like they're already ready to put you out, if it's not paid by the 15th. So I do utilize that grace period. And for the most part, I don't really incur that much of a late fee because I just go ahead and pay whatever's due at the end of the month. And so it just kind of works for me now. I'm hoping in September I can flip it and just go ahead and pay my mortgage up front and then pay everything else afterwards. But I just felt like I don't want to spend the bulk of what I have right then and there. I could split my mortgage up into which that was something I was doing previously when I first became a homeowner. Um and it worked that way. However, if you guys have been following me and you kind of know my situation, I at the time my mom was living with me and then my husband was here at the home, and then we have, since my mom passed away in 2023 unexpectedly, and then right after that I filed for divorce. So that extra income that I normally would have put into my household is now all on me, which, you know, I qualify for this house on my own without anyone else's income. But it was just nice when I had, you know, myself, my mom, and my husband at the time here, and we all, you know, split the bills accordingly. And so, you know, so I have to just do things differently. For the last 2 years, I've, you know, been the sole provider in my home. And again, it's okay. It is what it is. It's life. I'm blessed to say that I have a home, and within this home I do not have to pay the amount that I'm hearing that people are paying just for a 3-bedroom apartment. They're paying, I know two people that are paying more than me for their rent versus what I'm paying for my mortgage. And so, you know, as of today, I'm going to tell you one of my goals for the month, and I did not write them down, but one of my goals for the month was to make sure that I maintain a zero balance on all of my household expenses, meaning a zero balance on my utilities, my water bill, my alarm, my homeowner's insurance, like things like that. So I wanted to get as close to a zero balance as I possibly can. And I am happy to say that as of today, everything is at a zero balance. So when I go carry over into June, it will only be June's balance that I will be carrying over. As I'm talking to you today, all of my home bills, all of my credit card bills, all of those things that I had to pay or that I owed a balance on month to month has been paid. So anything that I will be carrying over into June is going to be the things that is carrying. And so let me see, make sure you guys can see. Okay. Now, going into my long-term debts, these are just the cumulative debts that I have right about now. It is very, what I say, just stuff that's not even that's just the stuff that just happens and you wind up getting a bill for it for whatever, like tolls and tickets and just crazy stuff. So anyway, I am currently at ending balance $3,089.92. And so I am currently at a point where I am going to be tackling these aggressively for the month of June. I'm going to be really putting a dent into all of these. I'm hoping that when I put my car back into the shop, it won't be as much as it was previously to fix. So I am praying and hoping that it won't be that expensive, because the more money that I am putting out for my car is more money that I could be using to pay off my debt and pay off bills. And so the things that I was hoping to pay for this month was actually all of the things that pertain to my car. So the car tax bill, which we in the state of Virginia, we have car insurance. We have taxes every year on our car. My stormwater, these are tolls. These are 3 tolls, that unnecessary tolls, and this is a ticket, a red light ticket. And so my goal was to pay these things off for the month of May. However, again, There was a setback because I had to put my car in the shop, so that money that I was saving to pay these off had to wind up going to pay for my car to be fixed. So again, that balance that I paid was like $3,100 to get my car fixed, and it was like the parts were just expensive. The labor wasn't that bad. It was the part. Well, no, I flipped that. The part wasn't that bad. It was the labor that was very costly for me. And so I was not able to successfully do these, but I am hoping and praying that at least by the 31st, I can at least have one of these bills paid. That is my goal. But I have a lot of card things that I need to pay for, just stupid stuff. Card taxes, stormwater taxes, tolls and tickets. Tolls and tickets are not mine. Those belong to that kid that lives with me. And we have already talked about tolls and tickets, and he knows that he's 21, he's in college. Like, yeah, if I catch you getting another toll or red light ticket, we're gonna park the car. You're not gonna be driving the car. As the parent, that the car my son drives is underneath of me because I purchased it. So naturally, anything that he does within that car, I'm gonna get the letters, I'm gonna get the tickets, I'm gonna get the tolls. Um, what else? So these are just a list of things that I have to pay, and I am hoping again by the end of May, I can at least put a dent in the car tax and the tolls and tickets. So, yeah. Okay. One of the things that I have strategically been doing, I have been calling my creditors and calling them and say, hey, if I make this payment, or will you accept this amount to charge to pay off the debt. So this particular debt right here was a Capital One auto. I had helped my ex-husband get a car before we broke up. He did not honor paying the rest of the car off. So unfortunately, the car had broke down. So instead of him trading it in, he did not. He left me to pay the balance. I called Capital One, asked them, could I settle with them. They gave me a settlement amount, and long story short, I paid that settlement amount, and so that debt has completely been paid. I don't have to worry about it. It's over with. I don't have to look at it anymore. It's done. That particular debt is done and it's over with. And again, I am happy to be done with that. And so I actually paid this off in February of this month, and so it is zeroed out. I don't owe them anything, and that was Capital One. The next debt, I do have 2 Capital One credit cards, and as you can see, I've gone ahead and this payment has already been made. This payment has already been made, and so I'm going to look up my balance. And actually, I'm going to look up my balance while I have this live going. Let's see what it is. Log into my Capital One. Where's my app? Capital One account, and then I will let you know what the balance is. And so I am making way. At first, when I started this process, it didn't feel like I was like getting anywhere with it. And then I finally got somewhere. I was like, okay, this is coming down nicely. So this particular bill 6304, my current balance here after this payment was $2,099.82. So that is where I currently am. I just made a payment on May 13th, so this is accurate. A payment of $204, and I am down to $209.82. And of course, you know, there's interest and stuff that accrues after you make the payment. But that is done, and so I can kind of see light at the end of the tunnel. And yeah, for this particular card, I just made a payment. The payment came out on, actually, is today the 23rd? Hold on, 25th. So actually, yes, this payment came out on the 23rd, and I'm getting ready to tell you my balance with this one. $3,398. So I set up a settlement with them because this account during the process of me getting divorced was closed because we were not making payments at the time. Well, I fell behind on the payments, I should say. And so I called them and settled with them. And so currently I owe, the payment came out here. I'm going to write that. So my balance with them is $1,942 and 67 cents. So I was able to actually settle with them for $2,357.89 just to go ahead and pay, because I do like Capital One. There is a potential for me to be able to reopen my account with them, so that's why I'm honoring the payments that I have arranged with them. All right, Credit One Bank is another credit card. Now, mind you, before I got my house, you guys, I just want to make it known. Before I got my house, I did not have any debt. The only debt that I had actually was my student loan. So I didn't have any debt when I bought my home, which was a blessing for me. I didn't have to worry about I just went into it with my student loan debt, and that was it. And give me a second. I'm looking up. Let's see. I gotta log into my Credit One account, and that is, bear with me, you guys. I gotta log in. You know how when you log, they gotta give you a verification code and all that other crazy stuff. So bear with me as I am logging in. So with this account, 2246, let me see. I actually called them and had them close this account, but I kept my Amex account, so I'm good. I just gotta wait for them to send me the offer for what they were telling me that they were going to give me. So I'm waiting on that. But if we're going to go with my Amex account, my balance currently is 1,000. Let's see. When did I make a payment on this? There's no transaction. The last payment posted was 5/14/26, and that was in 4253, and that was in the amount of 200. And my current balance is $1,927.53. Yeah. So this card is paid for the month, so I am happy with that, on that progress. And I only owe, my next payment to them is only, I'm just going to make a note here, it's only $68. But more than likely, I will be putting more money down on 610. This is actually due 6/10/26. I'm actually going to be putting more down than just the $68 and some change. All right, you guys, that is it. Just kind of wanted to give you an update as to where I am in my debt-free payoff journey. I didn't make as much of a dent as I wanted to, but however, most of my things are at a zero balance, and I'm proud of myself. It's been hard work. It's been dedication. It's been working without really any vacations. I'm really working like 6 days a week, between 5 and 6 days a week. Today was a day off, and it's like I'm off for a day, and then I'm working like 3 or 4 days, and then I'm off for a day, because I know realistically my body can only handle working like 3 or 4 days in a row, and then it's kind of like, yeah, I'm tired at this point. And so everything is moving. It's just moving in a slower direction. But I give all honor and glory to God, because He is definitely pulling me out of this difficult financial space that I have been in for the last, few years, 2.5 years or so. But the journey continues, and I am going to continue with the journey despite how hard or how challenging it may get. But that is it. Until the next time, you guys, be on the lookout for June's budget. I will more than likely probably also be doing a May's budget wrap up. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update as to where I am in this month. And if you guys have any questions, if you're looking for motivation and inspiration as well as aspiration, please continue to join me on this journey. Let's get out of debt together. We can exchange ideas. We can figure out, how we can get out of debt sooner, what things are working, what things aren't working, what things that we need to tweak within our budget. But however, we are going to get out this debt-free journey. No matter how long it takes us, we are closer than what we started. So that's it, you guys. Until the next video, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and join me in this debt-free journey. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video or next live session. Bye.